Right now, on the inside of your wrist, press your thumb and your pinky together. If a band of muscle pops up under the skin, you have something a caveman used to climb. If nothing appears, you're one of about 10% of people born without it. That muscle is called the palmaris longus, and your body no longer needs it. It is not the only thing you're carrying that stopped mattering thousands of years ago. Goosebumps, wisdom teeth, the reflex that makes a newborn grip your finger hard enough to hold its own weight. Each one was useful once, to someone who wasn't quite you. And the reason they're still here isn't what you'd think. Here's the thing evolution doesn't do. It doesn't clean up after itself. Natural selection only removes a trait when keeping it costs you something. Survival, energy, a chance to reproduce. If a leftover part is harmless, it just rides along, generation after generation, doing nothing. Biologists call these vestigial structures. The word comes from the Latin vestigium, meaning footprint, a trace of something that walked through and left. Charles Darwin wrote about them in 1871, including the small muscles around the human ear that do nothing when you smile or chew. In a dog, those muscles swivel the ears toward a snapping twig. In you, they mostly just sit there. Darwin called them rudimentary. He understood they were inheritance, not design. Your body is a stack of older bodies. The palmaris longus in your wrist once anchored the grip of an ancestor who spent life in the trees. The pointed canines in your mouth were longer in a face built to tear, not chew. Even the bumps you get when you're cold are running ancient software. A muscle the size of an eyelash sits at the base of every hair, and when it contracts, it pulls that hair upright. On a furred animal, that traps a layer of warm air, or makes the animal look bigger to a predator. On you, it just makes a goosebump. Think about what that means. The cold raises an army of muscles to fluff a coat of fur you no longer have. 200,000 years ago, one of your ancestors crouched at the edge of a fire that was dying. The wind found the gaps in the cave, and the cold pressed flat against bare skin. Every hair on that body stood straight up at once, a thick coat lifting to trap the heat. It worked. The fur held a pocket of warm air, and the body lived through the night. That reflex got passed down for 10,000 generations, all the way to you. But somewhere along the line, we lost almost all of the fur. The muscles stayed. For decades, scientists shrugged at goosebumps. A dead reflex, they said. Useless. Then in 2020, a team at Harvard, led by Ya-Chieh Hsu, published something strange in the journal Cell. The tiny muscle that raises each hair turned out to be wired directly to the nerve that senses cold. And that same nerve was physically touching the stem cells that grow new hair. The muscle wasn't just a leftover. It was holding a switch. When the cold lasted, the nerve told those stem cells to build a thicker coat over time. A reflex everyone had written off as junk was quietly running hair growth the entire time. The caveman part wasn't dead. It was waiting for a winter that no longer comes. If goosebumps are the famous leftover, the ears are the eerie one. Around each of your ears sit 3 small muscles, the same ones Darwin counted. In a cat or a deer, they aim the ears like satellite dishes toward a sound. In you, they're supposed to be silent, switched off, forgotten, except in 2023, researchers at Saarland University in Germany wired up volunteers and played sounds from different directions. When a sound came from behind, those dead ear muscles fired. Not enough to move anything you would notice, just a faint electrical flicker. The body trying to turn an ear it can no longer turn. Millions of years after our ancestors stopped swiveling their ears, the wiring is still there, still trying. Then there is the grip. Stroke the palm of a newborn, and the hand clamps shut with shocking force. It's called the Palmar grasp reflex, and a newborn can nearly hold its own body weight by the hands. Human babies have no fur to cling to, but primate babies do. That grip is built for an infant hanging from its mother while she moves through the branches. Your fingers remember a fur coat your body forgot. So press your wrist again. Watch for that band of muscle the 10% of people will never see. If it's there, it once braced the grip of something swinging between branches. If it isn't, evolution is quietly editing it out of our species, one birth at a time. None of these parts know that the world changed. The fur is gone, the trees are gone, The cold nights end with the turn of a thermostat. But the body keeps the old equipment, loaded and waiting for a life you will never live. It's all still in there. We just don't need it anymore.